Welcome back everybody to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading and all kinds of long-term and short-term setups, definitely check out my link down below in the description and you get trade ideas like this one that we took just on the 13th of this month was last week. United Airline, we got in at 73, and today pretty much going in the money. Was fantastic, this trade that we took. So not only this one, I'm only sharing one trade right here, lots of other trades. And if you're really serious about trading, then definitely check out that link and definitely go for that annual membership. That's the one that I recommend. Otherwise, you're not really serious about trading. So I mean, it's not really gonna work out, guys. Now, with that being said, let's get right into the market. What is the market doing? Well, we talked about it over the weekend in my stock market brief, also on my big mega cap update that I don't think market is going to sell off because of that war news that's going around and people are calling black swan and all that. It's not going to work out. Well, definitely did not. You can see right on my screen S&P 500 rallied this morning, and there were some news that you can see right here. Investor bet Israel and Iran conflict will be contained. These newses can only pump. Nothing's gonna happen unless oil goes right back up and something happens. U.S. gets dragged into this war. That is when you're going to see massive selling. If Iran and Israel are just throwing bombs at each other, forget about it. Not gonna happen. No need to talk about it, guys. Now, what the market doing today? You can see right here. Dow was up actually over 1%. Now it's up 0.67%. Nasdaq up the most 1.45%. Massive rally led by semiconductors. Then we got S&P up 0.85%. Russell going up 0.71%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 completely from risk off to risk on. Technology leading the way on top. Communication services, consumer cyclical. So, risky assets are up today and energy taking a back seat down on the day. Stock market map. And, I just said semis and you can see right here, guys. All of them are green. And Nvidia pretty much, Nvidia, AMD leading the charge here. AMD up nearly 10%. Microsoft, PLTR, still going. Apple up 0.84%, Amazon up 2%, Meta gap up 3% here. Tesla was up, also still up 1.24%, Google up, and financial also going up. JPM, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all are up on the day, and you can see consumer defensive, utilities, and healthcare lagging behind. So we'll see how that plays out. And now let's get right into S&P 500. So here on SPY ETF, it's absolutely green on the day. And like I said, market does not care about what's happening in the Middle East, and it's not gonna, affect the market. A lot of people, they see these kind of events and news and like, I'm gonna go and short the heck out of the market. And guess what? If we shorted last Friday, near the lows, just before closing, you paid a heavy price today because things went higher from last week and we gapped up and started running. You can see we opened at 600 and we actually never got under 600, which is amazing. Got up to almost 605 and there is that call wall at 605. We saw a bit of a rejection, and now if you look at this 5 minute time frame, what do you see? Just sideways consolidation, but still up and green on the day. So what is going to take to bring the market down or possibly market to go and hit all-time highs? Well, nobody knows. We're sitting really close to all-time highs. Some people are calling this monthly double top. You can call it whatever you want to call it, guys. But until the price action proves it and it breaks down, we cannot just go and say, hey, this is the top and this is it. I don't see any more upside. Now, what we can do is have a lot of cash. So if the market were to pull back in next couple days, maybe couple weeks, these are going to be some great opportunities instead of going here and buying, these mini dips. I would call these, just mini dips, $5, $7. Today, not even that. $2, $1, and dips are getting bought up. Slow grind up, really, really boring market. And in this kind of situations, you need to keep cash because opportunities will come. And if you just blow up all your cash and you're into bunch of positions and not managing your account, you're not gonna make money when the opportunity arrives at your door. You're just gonna be like, oh, I wish I had the cash. I'm already tied up with bunch of other positions, right? So that is why at all-time high, do not go long, do not, put a lot of money into the market. Now you can see clearly that 597 to 598, that level held on Friday. And today, off of that level, we went higher. So if you want to see the market, going down in a big way, it needs to get under not only that 597, 593.75, which is this 20-day moving average, and top of this candle, that's going to be a support level to watch. Only below that, you're going to see a flush down to 586. If things are remaining over 597 to 598, and as a matter of fact, staying over 600, that is definitely bullish for a move up to again 605. And if we get over that, it can push up to previous all-time highs easily and possibly can even hit brand new all-time high. On triple Q, it's up 1.36%. So, I mean, out of all the news that you're seeing in last maybe 48 hours, everybody was expecting some sort of a gap down or at least not a green day today. Well, market proved us wrong again, right? And that is why, I said it before that, yeah, things are not looking good. Maybe US gets, dragged into this war, but market does not give a crap. So if you're just going in blindly and shorting things and you think there's going to be a $20 drop and you're buying 0DT, 1DT options, puts on Qs or SPY, you're just going to be blowing up your account. And you can see why. I mean, look at this move today on low volume, kept pressing higher. And now it's over that critical range 533. If it can remain over that, well, definitely, I mean, only $5, $6 away from all time highs. We can get there 540. To the downside, 533 gives up. Next big level of support down here at 530, 526, 524 because of this 20-day moving average, and then 522. To the downside, if it gets under, I would say 522, 520, things are going to get ugly. And that is when you can possibly go and play those 0DTs, 2DTs, puts once we get into a downtrend daily. But so far, bears are just not having a good day, guys. On DIA, it's up 0.79%, so up nearly 1%. And look at this bounce off of this support 423, got up to 428, bit of a rejection, and now just consolidating here over this rising 20-day moving average, which is sitting just above 423, almost 425. So as long as DIA remains over 425, definitely just a pullback, nothing big, and this thing can get over 428. It's heading higher back up to 433. Now, I'll be concerned if this thing breaks below 425, takes out 423 like it did last week on Friday. Then we have this gap down here and the support. So watch out for a move down here at 418 on DIA. On IWM, it's up 1%. So this thing also went up and now it's trading over 210. So technically it's looking good, but we got a doji type of candle today because uh, it got up to 212 and now trading at 210. So there was a bit of a rejection at the top. Unless we close over 212, then it would be a nice green candle. Now there is a gap at 213. So as long as this thing remains over 210, and yes, there's a wedge pattern. We got the breakout. A lot of people are calling this inverse head and shoulder. That's also there. Now, is it going to actually play out? We'll see how that works on small caps. So going into tomorrow's session, that 210 holds. It can press higher, definitely up to 216 and even 220. And then this gap will likely to get filled, in next couple hours. This thing does not hold 210, then watch out for the support at 208, and from there it can go much much lower, and lower means all the way down to lower Bollinger Band, 201 to 198. So VIX had that massive gap down today, and look at this, down over 7%, came all the way down to I think almost close to $18, and now a bit of a recovery here on VIX, but nothing big, still down on the day, nearly 7-8%. So VIX here, if you look at my screen, yes, we got that breakout from this wedge last week. We might be just retesting the support here at 18, and it's definitely holding there. So now the question remains, if this thing is able to break over 20 again, it can possibly go higher up to 23.80, maybe even 26 at some point, and then you're going to see a bigger, pullback unfolding here in this market. So far, VIX is down, but it's quite not getting crushed yet, guys. So before we wrap up this video, I want to look at a couple more things here in the market. And, I did put out this chart in my Discord inside this wedge, and we definitely got that breakout last week. And since then, I mean, you can see just came back in a little bit and just consolidating. So if gold pressing higher, is that actually good for the market? Why people are running for safety, right? That's another thing. So now let's have a look at USO. And if you look at this one, I mean, my God, look at this pump. And if I can draw a line here, what do you see? Well, a massive breakout unfolding. We got, a pullback today here. We actually took a position on oil today because if this thing moves up, look at this. I mean, easily. I'm not even targeting anything big, guys. Easily. Let me just put this up for you guys. So if you look at my screen, we can come back up and retest this high, which is 80 plus, nearly 85. And there is, a lot of rumors, a lot of things coming out where it's saying that oil can go up to, 100, 125. Now, I don't believe all that. 125 seems, too far off. But don't get me wrong. I mean, look at this thing. And if these things are going up, especially oil pressing higher, S&P 500 will likely to pull back at some point. We cannot have oil going up, gold going up, and then in top of that, look at this, TNX up 0.68% today, guys. And what do you see here? Well, this thing is just building a nice bull flag pattern. As a matter of fact, I can actually draw this pattern here, and you guys will see right on my screen what is happening. Well, it's just a giant flag type of pattern that's forming here. And if we can, get over this line right here, 4.6, it can definitely push higher. And looks like, I mean, it's kind of have this green body, big, bullish engulfing candle, a little bit of upper wick, and now today we got a hammer type candle. So if this thing breaks out, follows oil, guess what? It's going to pressure the market, and market will likely to come back. Now, is that a guarantee? Absolutely not. But when these things are going up hand in hand, especially TNX, oil, and then you got gold going up, you can't have everything going up at the same time. So let me know your thoughts on all that, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow night, guys.